The assault on Iwo Jima is a relentless barrage of heavy smoke, flying volcanic ash, and deafening artillery. Marines are fighting yard by yard, pinned tightly in trenches to survive the incoming fire. Then, the chaos is suddenly punctuated by the sound of metal hitting dirt. 2 live enemy grenades land in the center of a crowded foxhole. This is the moment of the instinctual freeze, the split second where the mind is forced to weigh the primal drive to survive against the immediate need to protect the squad. The Marine staring down at those explosives is 17 years old. He is legally a child. Military law expressly forbids teenagers from seeing frontline combat. Yet this high school-aged kid has maneuvered his way into the deadliest battlefield on Earth, and in the next heartbeat, he has to make a choice. The massive mobilization of the Second World War drew millions of American volunteers. This wave of patriotism drove underage boys across the country to try to bypass recruiters and join the fight early. Jack Lucas succeeded. At barely 14 years old, he forged his mother's signature, bribed a notary, and used his large physical build to bluff his way into the Marine Corps. To understand how a teenager ends up diving on a grenade, visualize Marine boot camp. The process compresses scattered individuals, breaking down self-preservation to forge a cohesive unit. Marines are conditioned to view the man next to them as more valuable than their own life. By the time he shipped out to the Pacific, Jack operated as a highly conditioned asset. He was trained to prioritize his squad over himself, making his actions in the trench a result of discipline rather than impulse. Theoretical enthusiasm faded during the long approach to the front line. The ocean crossing gave troops weeks to sit in anticipation, staring out at the water while facing the reality of the combat waiting for them on land. Iwo Jima presented a tactical nightmare. The island was devoid of natural cover, forcing Marines to push forward while completely exposed on steep slopes of black volcanic ash. Progression through the island's devastation was slow and agonizing, characterized by the constant threat of ambush from hidden pillboxes and tunnels. Which brings us back to that tight, inescapable trench. Surrounded by mud and entirely out of options, Jack physically lunges forward. He dives directly over both grenades, using his body weight to drive them into the ash as they detonate. In this fraction of a second, the goal of his training was realized. A teenager gave up his own future to buy his brothers their present. The dust clears. The remaining Marines realize they have been shielded from the shrapnel. The blast was almost entirely absorbed. Despite the proximity of the blast, Jack was still breathing. The explosion had peppered his body with over 200 pieces of shrapnel, necessitating decades of medical procedures and dozens of surgeries. But his heart did not stop. The military maintains strict criteria for its highest award. Earning it requires conspicuous gallantry and a clear risk of life above the call of duty. President Harry S. Truman presented that award to Jack, making him the youngest Marine recipient in U.S. history. That split-second decision in the dirt earned Jack a long life back home. He carried the physical scars and the historical weight of his choice until his passing in 2008. We remember heroes by a specific measure, not for their rank or their age, but for what they were willing to give to others in a single heartbeat.
From the dark struggle to the ultimate glory, break all the chains and push through. Welcome to your true destiny.